Hi everyone, I'm Dragon with you. So let's check the new mutation called Nuclear Family. We played with Tedigirl yesterday, and that's the game I would like to show you. Basically, the mutation is not so difficult. So the first one says that hybrids, when being destroyed, get nuclear around. Then infested Terrans are walking during the game. And the third ability says that while someone is near a hybrid, I mean non-heroic unit, then you can't deal more than 10 damage to the hybrid. That's how it works. So basically, you remember that we'll need to push Jinara forward, and that's why potentially we need to do everything in time. So to be ready for the hybrids, to destroy enemy base, and so on.
Is this another hallucination? Oh, well, I'll just roll with it.
So let's make it faster
I am first
after
Ascendant
the dialogue.
Jinara, and I have been challenged to rack sheer by a faction of Tal'Darim who foolishly remain loyal to Amon. The Dark God bolsters their champion's strength. Send both of your armies to my side to bolster mine. I will emerge victorious.
Yes, so that's how it works. Basically, for start, Kerrigan is enough. But we need to get rid of the first attack. So that's why I'm going straight into Zealots. I'm not waiting for more units. The drone said that she would like to play Zerglings because more than 10 damage, and it does work versus Zerglings basically. But the problem is that she's not a micro player, and as a result, if hybrid will be detonated, all the dogs will probably die. That's why I took Artanis to get Guardian Shell. So basically it gives you an extra life, and while you are under the effect you can't be destroyed still. So nuclear detonations are countered by the shell.
Enemy supplicants are headed toward their champion.
Enemy forces incoming.
Okay, so for now we need to defend here. After that, to defend our main base. So fortunately, when my ally has Kerrigan, it gets much easier, I would say, yes. So remember that infested Terrans will also push Jinara back. As a result, you'll need to control her. So basically, Tedigirl thought that it's not a problem to destroy this barricade and told that I could not use the orbital strike or the shield overcharge, so it was extra.
These hybrids possess immense psionic power. Destroy them!
And as you can see, she started destroying every single unit in her path, and the only problem is hybrids. Basically, they are making painful attacks while someone is near. That's why I used my ultimate ability, and it cleared the area around. So now the hybrids are alone, nobody is around, and they can get the full damage potential. And as you can see, when detonated, Kerrigan could die, but instead the Guardian Shield worked, and she survived. That's why Artanis is good in this mission. Okay, so next we'll probably need more bases, but remember that the next hybrid will be here. And now everything seems fine, but I was a bit careless. So as you can see, I've got several units, but instead of making a great army, I just started buildings, so photon cannons to get rid of the infested Terrans, and the robotics just for the rest of the game, plus special upgrades for my dragoons. So it's all good for this mission, but probably I had to get more units right now, because my ally, she feels good with lurkers, but still will need a larger army anyway. So basically, that's
Psionic
why
support from the hybrids turns the tide and aim on.
it was kind of hard at this moment. So I've got a little army, and look, so we need to get rid of all other units around. Because as you can see, while someone is near, hybrids get reduced damage. That's why Kerrigan felt so bad. I tried to focus them one by another. And yes, and immediately attack, and I had to go back. Meanwhile, here some forces are trying to push back Jinara. That's why my defensive line is ready. So just for this situation, when I need to pull back, she told that a ghost is there, so we'll need detection. And look at this, so she's got a couple of lurkers around, and they work perfectly versus Marines. Look at this.
Their psionic bleeding is distracting.
And now finally we can go on attacking. Meanwhile, here cannon forces
Champion draws power from his supplicant.
are fighting. And when Kerrigan is back to business, we can go again. So as you can see, she destroyed several hybrids, and the Guardian Shield helped her a lot. And as well as her units, so basically these units would die. Meanwhile, we are getting rid of enemies here. And look, so we've got enough forces basically to get an elemental, I mean slain elemental. But for some reason we decided that it's more important to just win the game. Actually, that was the right decision in general for mutations. Especially when my ally is just destroying every single unit on her path, at least she tries. But remember that Kerrigan is not so OP.
Our adversaries intend to eliminate us.
Her abilities of jumping around units dealing heavy damage and leaping strike versus star single units are very effective. And Hydralisks are basic units for her. They're effective both against damaging ground and air units. Yes. So basically, Hydralisks plus lurkers and immortals plus dragoons.
Greatly enhancing his champion's strength.
So now we are just cleaning everything around. And when it comes to destroying hybrids, I've got my ultimate ability. And as you can see, Kerrigan would die again, but she didn't because we've got Guardian Shell. So nuclear strikes are very effective, but she told that microcontrol is not for her, but anyway, everything's done and the Guardian Shell saved her Hydralisks, so everything's fine. Meanwhile, some units are trying to beat me, that's why I'm trying to place something. Same for this.
An enemy base stands in the way of my victory.
And at this point I asked her, so would you like to try to finish the game? Because I wasn't sure, I have only 94 limit, while she had, let's check. So she had 72 limit. So is it time to try to get the final attack? If not, it is preferable to collect the army and then push Jinara, because after she is somewhere here and this defense is destroyed, the final round starts. So was it time for the final round? Or we could go and kill the slain elemental. But she decided that, okay, onward to victory, yes. As you can see, she decided that it's time. So I did my best, warp in as many units as possible. And yes, the last battle goes here. Remember that all these hybrids detonate, so if you are careless you will lose the battle. Fortunately, the Guardian Shell is present, but you can use it only once at 240 seconds. That's why Kerrigan died here. Meanwhile, I am destroying another part of enemy units. Little protection is required here. She's got 4 lurkers, that's more than enough basically. Meanwhile, I started fighting versus hybrids. So when you remember that nuclear detonations are there, you need to try to kite them one by one. I wasn't very careful, and still I'm doing my best. So one by one, and go back as soon as possible to get rid. Drone told that unfortunately she didn't have enough time to go back. Basically, Dragoon has range 8. That's why it's easier for me to kite these nuclear missiles. So, as you can see, I go back every single time when it's kind of dangerous. Meanwhile, some infested marines are attacking my base. It's not so serious for me. And we decided, as you can see, we've got still some time to kill this lane elemental.
Slay it before it scurries away to breed.
But we decided that okay, we'll just win and that's all. So as you can see, we had enough forces to kill the elemental actually. But we just decided to ignore it and win the game. Yes. Okay, let's make it faster. A little attack from our opponent. And that's how we did it. So, basically you need to kite the nuclear detonations, then get rid of all other units around hybrids to get maximal potential of your attacks. And probably don't forget Gennara, so you will need to protect her even from infested Terrans and get some static defense. It will help you soon. Okay, so thanks for watching and see you in my next videos. Good luck to you guys.